Ocean Park in Hong Kong Island, China is going to be adding a $1 billion investment starting off in 2023, ending in 2027. So 4 years, 4 roller coasters, and a lot of other investments. Now, before we get into the actual content and roller coasters, I wanted to analyze why I think they're doing this, and there's 2 primary reasons, I think. First one is that Hong Kong is trying to reestablish their entertainment industry. Obviously, they've been at the top of the news for a while now because of all the protests and manifestations. Not getting political, but the government would like to reestablish their amusement industry. Second reason being, I think this park is trying to follow the same model that SeaWorld followed, because SeaWorld was known for being very shady with the ways that they treated their animals, such as their orcas, etc. Ocean Park was also recently under fire, except it was dolphins that they were under fire for treating improperly. So that is why I think they're adding a lot. The government is actually investing in this, so obviously the park would never have the funds to add this much stuff. Think some parks in Europe, just like Energylandia, which received direct funding from the government. Pretty much the same thing is happening here, just to a much larger scale. So now getting into the actual content of the rides and attractions they will be adding, I wanted to start off with the biggest one that caught my eye the most, and this is a B&M dive coaster. Obviously, guys, it's completely unnamed. I will be dropping a link in the description, but it's all in Chinese. There's only photos. I don't think you'll be able to understand unless you speak really good Mandarin, in which case, good for you. Anyhow, getting into this. This dive coaster looks pretty cool. Really, the only defining feature that I wanted to highlight was that it's on the water, so hopefully we get a nice view from that. I don't know if this will even happen, but if they do follow through with this investment, I think seeing a B&M dive coaster would be really awesome, especially with the park with this great views. They already have a B&M. I think a dive would really add to that lineup. Second one that really caught my eye, not exactly for being the most thrilling, but being one of the most innovative, was this S&S Pipeline Racing Coaster. We've seen a couple of these in the past, but this is the newest generation. We've seen these exist for a while, but if I'm not mistaken, we haven't even seen really many corporate parks add these. I could be completely wrong, but I'm pretty sure we haven't seen that many of these. Just like the rest of the park, it looks ocean themed with blue purple track, cool cars. Really not much to see there. Third one I wanted to highlight was this, I don't even know what to call this thing. Obviously, I don't think this layout's going to really follow through looking like this. However, we have this sort of bluish roller coaster, kind of does a bunch of overbanks. There's really no defining features here. The track could be anything, Vekoma, Mach, Intamin, it really could be anything. We do know it has over-the-head restraints based on this animation, but again, guys, it's an animation. There's really not much information here. Next, last thing I wanted to mention, this Alpine Coaster. They seem, just based on all of these photos, to be adding an Alpine section to the park, which they don't really have right now. They have a gondola that goes up a mountain, but no Alpine-themed area. So this looks okay, I guess. It's pretty rare that you see corporate parks as large as this adding large Alpine coasters. Generally, those are reserved for one-off places. But anyway, those are the 4 roller coasters that we can notice and that they've put highlight on. I'm sure there will be other major attractions as well as maybe even another roller coaster, but these are the 4 that they decided to market. As for whether or not this will happen, I actually have my money on this a lot more than the other Six Flags projects that have attempted to reach out to China, mainly because those have been with very shady, ground-up companies. This actually looks like the government is truly investing. So it's like an Energylandia model. Energylandia has announced crazy stuff in the past, like Hyperion and Zadra, and now this new Vekoma coaster, and they followed through with all of those projects. I have no doubt that this will be similar. I don't know if they're going to open it to the extent that they wanted to originally, but we're certainly going to be seeing some growth in this park. However, this is 2023, so we have many, many other projects between now and then, and anything could change. The amusement industry could go completely under for all we know. Anyway, guys, that wraps up my thoughts on this huge investment. One of the largest investments I've seen in a park this small. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you all in the next video.